Today is January 12th. We're reading Proverbs chapter 12. If you've not read Proverbs 12, go ahead and pause this video. You can go read the chapter, and then you can come back, watch this, and leave us a comment with something God's teaching you through His Word today. In Proverbs 12, there's a lot of good different Proverbs in there that maybe God has pointed out to you. I'm going to look at three of them, not necessarily in order. I'm going to jump around a little bit, but three of them that really kind of stood out to me and struck me I want to share with you. The first one is, I will always point out when I read a verse about a godly wife. Proverbs chapter 12 verse 4 says, "An excellent wife is the crown of her husband, but she who brings shame is like rottenness in his bones." I hope as you read this, if you're married, you'll be thankful for the crown, husbands, the crown of an excellent wife. I'm certainly thankful for my wife and the blessing she is to my family and my ministry and to me personally. All of these Proverbs really strike me, and of course I couldn't let it go by. Hannah, if you're watching, I read that verse just for you. Verse 15 is something that I think we forget and maybe should cause us to have some pity on those who don't heed wisdom. Verse 15 says, "The way of a fool is right in his own eyes, but a wise man listens to advice." A couple of things there. One, don't be foolish. Be wise and listen to advice. Listen to what people are telling you. If it's bad advice, get rid of it, but at least hear people out. And if you have wise friends around you telling you something, multiple people telling you the same thing, maybe a wise person listens to that. But I think where I have pity on the fool is it says the way of a fool is right in his own eyes. Have you ever argued with someone, probably on Facebook, and you just can't get through to their stubbornness? Like they just won't give up what they believe, even though they're dead wrong. There's some pity there, and I've been there. The fool thinks he is absolutely right, and you can't convince him otherwise. So it's not worth arguing then. It's not worth wasting words on, and it's not worth fighting. The fool is going to believe he's right, whether he's right or whether he's wrong. Verse 9, and this is kind of the last verse that struck me, says this: "Better to be lowly and have a servant than to play the great man and lack bread." Let me read that again. "Better to be lowly and have a servant than to play the great man and lack bread." In other words, it's better to have the appearance of having nothing, but have enough that you've got a servant and you're doing well, than it is to have the appearance of a great man and someone of great wealth and have absolutely nothing to eat. This really, I think, should speak to us in a Facebook, Instagram society where we're only putting our best foot forward and making everyone think that we have everything put together, when in reality we're struggling. It's much better to be humble, to be prudent, to save up, and to make it seem like we have nothing and have enough for the future, than it is to boast and to brag and to have the appearances. This affects the things that we buy. This should affect the things that we acquire, but more importantly, it should affect the way we carry ourselves. It's better to be humble than it is to be boastful. And in the Facebook, Instagram, social media society, I don't know that there's a better proverb in this chapter than that one for us.